So these are the colored pencils I'll be using to color the drawings that I made earlier. I'm not gonna lie, this video has taken me a lot longer to do than I was expecting because each fruit has taken me around an hour to color and shade. I'm using my Colorase colored pencils and my Illo sketchbook. No, they are not sponsoring this video, but these rainbow sour strips are so good. I just had to mention them. I didn't have a lime green colored pencil, so I had to go in with a light green and a yellow to make the color that I wanted. If you can't tell by now, the first fruit I'm coloring in is a dragon fruit. So throughout this whole thing, I've realized that this sketchbook really is not for markers and sometimes can work with colored pencils, but definitely not watercolor. This is a colored pencil that I used for all the sketches, and it's starting to get short, so it's kind of worrying me because it's my favorite color to use. I moved the angle so you could see better what I was doing. I think the reason I really didn't like using colored pencils in this sketchbook is because you could only layer so much before it started smudging on the page and it didn't really stick. Because the paper was so smooth and almost like a plasticky consistency, it was very hard to shade. So I'll probably leave this sketchbook for pen and ink drawings only. I may try acrylic paints, but we'll see. It'll probably warp the pages to where I don't even want to use that. I'll show most of the videos on the dragon fruit, and then when it comes to all the other fruits, I'll skip some sections, but you'll be able to follow along. So here I started putting in the black seeds of the dragon fruit. So here I went and outlined the green parts of the fruit so that you could see it better. Then I started on my favorite fruit of the page, the mango. So right here I did what I did on every picture and I just put down some colors. I wasn't trying to fill in the page yet, I was just trying to figure out where I wanted the colors to be on the fruit. So it looks very rough at first, but it ends up being my favorite. So I went back in and built up the layers slowly and applied more pressure with the pencil and was able to blend them out. I wasn't a fan of drawing the leaf because I only had 2 different colors of green, so I wasn't able to add as much depth as I wanted. Next, I moved on to the watermelon and zoomed back out so that you'd be able to see it better. Because y'all have seen it on the past 2 fruits, I skipped around a lot and didn't video the whole process because it's the exact same for each one. Because I added more pink layers on the dragon fruit, it looked more pink, whereas I did a very light layer of pink on the watermelon and did mainly red, so it gave it that watermelon coloring. whole time I was doing this, I was watching YouTube videos while I was drawing. The papaya on this page had to be my second favorite fruit because I just love the way it turned out, and you can definitely tell what kind of fruit it is. I also enjoyed coloring with yellows and oranges. So I started to do all the seeds with black pencil and realized that it wasn't as dark as I wanted it. So I ended up getting my 0.5 micron pen out and using that for the seeds on all the pictures instead of a black colored pencil. Using this pen helped me get the black color I was wanting in the seeds. It was honestly so satisfying getting to draw the seeds in the papaya because it was just circles everywhere. So I ended up filling the spaces in between the seeds, mainly with black colored pencil. Then I added more shading and outlined the papaya in brown and green. After this fruit, it just kept going downhill, and I'll explain it later. So I tried using this watercolor palette from King Art, and it ended up like making the page really bubbly, and I ended up really not liking the way it was turning out. So I let that dry, and then I moved on to the raspberries. This is when I tried using my Copic markers and all my alcohol markers to see if that would make a difference. Now I know there are marker sketchbooks that are specifically made for markers, but I wanted to test them out in this Illo sketchbook, and it seemed to do fine on smaller areas, but anytime you had to fill in a larger area, it seemed very spotty and you couldn't layer very much without the paper peeling. I was already committed at this point, so I decided to finish the raspberries in marker and then do all the vegetables in marker as well, as it was moving faster than when I was using colored pencil. I was trying to revive this kiwi drawing by adding more colored pencil and hoping for the best. I honestly didn't spend much time on it because I knew it was a lost cause, so I ended up just moving on to the next page because it was still wet. So on this side of the page, I just tried to block in color on all the vegetables and then go in and add more shading and details. After I put all the colors down, I went in with a darker green colored pencil and added the detail to the top of the carrot. After that, I started on the eggplant, and the shading on this one didn't turn out exactly like I wanted. I think it ended up being too light and I should have started off with darker colors, but that's fine. This purple matched the color I was going for perfectly, but like I said earlier, the highlights were just too light and it didn't look natural. I tried to darken the highlights a bit, but it still wasn't turning out how I wanted, so I just moved to the top of the plant. As I was using this green, I thought it would be a great color for the artichoke at the bottom of the page, so I started coloring that in as well. I think on this side of the page, the artichoke ended up being my favorite one that I colored. Because it was my favorite one that I colored, I'll show more of the process of how I did it. So as you can tell, I'm not good at focusing on one vegetable at a time. I moved around a lot and just tried to fill in colors and then went layer by layer on details and such. So this bell pepper, I chose red because I thought there was a lot of green on the page. Then I moved on to the next vegetable, which I'm pretty sure is either a beet or a radish. I don't know. It's one of those, but I started coloring in the main part of it. While I was doing that, I realized I wanted to use similar colors for the onion, so I started coloring that in as well. I didn't film most of the rest of the vegetables because at this point I was just really disappointed in how this whole spread was turning out, but I did film me putting potato brown a marker on a potato. But here's me adding the finishing touches on the potato so that it looks more like one. The Then I got my dark brown colored pencil and outlined the mushroom because it seemed like it was too light against the white background, so I wanted you to be able to see the outline of the mushroom. So this was the finished product after I added all the white highlights, and I didn't end up coloring the chili pepper because I just didn't feel like it at the time. But yeah, if you made it this far, please consider liking and subscribing. Also, thank you for watching, and if you've made it this far, comment down below food.